Yeah, welcome back to more Greatest Tony Adventures. Last time we started the... Well, actually, I guess we've done 2 segments in the trial because of how I record these, but... Whatever. We managed to change the jury's mind in another summation examination, and we've bought ourselves some more time. And also managed to collect a bit more evidence along the way.
There is potentially a foreign object inside Herlock Sholmes' body.
Oh, yeah. Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. Damn it. Fucking Discord. Witness, you will now retake the stand.
It says witnesses.
Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. These
Bonanza Bros.
Right, these fuckers. The Snow Bros. I presume you heard the defense counsel's submission examination. Oh, yeah, Governor.
I did, Gov, I did.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
Call!
Blimey!
This is going to be hard work. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windybanks.
Well, it was bedlam soon as, wasn't it?
It was, Nash, it was. Didn't need no time to pull me dukes out me Lucy lockets.
However, it was a lie. You brothers.
They're just 2 brothers.
Call!
Blimey! Note, I have no
The
voice
night in
recognition.
question. You rifled through the items on the victim's counter.
We never done nothing of the sort!
How'd you figure that out?
Good look.
You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened in the night in question. And this time, you will tell the truth.
Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. Thought worth pondering, perhaps.
Say no more, Gov. We hear ya.
We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach!
Each? What a slang I haven't heard.
Rhyming slang, I assume. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing.
It was when we had the gunshot, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff went flying.
Lummy, it did have to give me a fright. We was thinking the shoot come out the door and get us next.
We stuck everything back where we found it and scarpered straight into him in the black.
We could have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we? So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Winterberg's countertop on the night in question. Not ransack, Governor, no.
That's right, Nash, that's right. It's more like we tidied up. Yeah. Sorry.
By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess.
We see it. We hardly sound like roughs at all.
We don't, Nash, we don't. Can't you make us sound a bit more cutthroat?
Can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at Windybanks that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye. I'm sure of it. They might be Transformers.
Oh, turn into a car.
Right?
Change formers. Less than you'd expect. Let's see.
Enjoy the jiggle physics with his cheeks.
Yeah, his jowls.
Jowls, yeah.
If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place?
Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we?
We ain't, Nash, we ain't. If we admitted to something like that, people would think we was up to no good.
Well, soon we're gonna be on China. We're gonna let ourselves in more trouble.
Oh, so the Japanese are bad, but China's A-okay. In fact, now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony...
They gave him tea.
True. That's exactly what you've done. Landed yourselves in even more trouble.
Oh, well,
That's rotten luck.
Says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses. Explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter?
we never ransacked nothing.
Right, Nash, right. More like we tidied the place up. Sorry. Bro.
Hold it. But what you're saying is... He rose a little bit. None of the gunshots shocked you so much you knocked all those things off the counter.
Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of nerves needs to learn to keep his shirt on.
Look, it was loud, alright? Blimey, me dead granny would have woken up with that bang.
Big brother here screamed like a blooming baby and fell over the counter. He knocked over a lot of books, a candlestick, and some skull and whatnot.
That got tangled in some marionette, what knocked over a picture frame, what knocked them scales over on the floor.
These guys based on Mario and Luigi.
I don't think so.
You got
I mean,
the
I
shorter
think
one,
they're
that's the older one.
They're probably based on the same joke, but yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I assume there's like a bouquet and Tsukum. Well, no, because they're both idiots. So like, I don't know.
Oh, doesn't matter. You really mastered working quietly then.
What a racket! Me granny would have been scared back into her grave at a clatter like that. So is she in or out of the grave?
Both. Though in short, the gunshot took you by surprise.
And then some. I mean, it was quiet as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, BAM!
Do you have something to add there, Toby? Greg?
I was just hungry. Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add?
Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels.
No, something to add about their testimony. You seemed to react just now to what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something?
It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it, only... Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details.
How about you just tell us what's on your mind? No.
As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night. And the statement they gave then told a slightly different story than what they're saying now. Did it? You claim you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot.
Might have, Gov, might have. Does ring a bell now you mention it.
Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't feeling like perhaps that you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, eh, fellas? Sloppy!
Sloppy. For Alamigo!
If I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy, easy!
Oh, we'll get it right this time.
That's it, yup! It's all coming back to me now!
Then speak! Supplement your testimony with whatever details you miraculously return to your questionable minds, sirs.
She sloppy on my griffin till my bird is ill. I don't know.
I can't believe you said that in this Christian Discord server.
Right you are, Gav. I don't think this directly contradicts anything that I can think of.
You should press it and they can describe the voice. I don't know.
Yeah, because this could be Gina getting his gun from him, or it could be him trying to get the gun back from Gina.
In fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously.
Okay, so it would be him that said it. Well, we did, Gav, we did.
I suppose if we're being honest, if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all.
If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun.
I think the
Kind of thing.
wasn't him saying give me that gun. Career in acting tragically missed. Where were the voices coming from? Could you tell?
Of course we could. From the other side of that door behind the counter it was.
In the storeroom where the victim was found dead. And the voice you heard was that of the victim, Mr. Windybank.
On me granny's life. Of course it was. She's dead though. Ben.
Oh. On his greatest life, of course it was.
Except it's the same granny. So, that would mean that you both knew Mr. Windybank on the sound of his voice.
That's a good point.
So I mean, what?
What, Nash? What? Any ideas?
Yes, counsel, indeed it would. No. We didn't know the geezer.
How am I supposed to deny it when that bloke in all the fancy clubs is giving us the evil eye?
If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true.
Me granny's life, it is.
On his greatest life, it must be.
Good job his granny's dead. Is she though?
Yeah, this is hard to say. She came back to life and then stepped back into her coffin, apparently.
This is the real plot. To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear the gunshot. Causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor.
You make it sound like we're clumsy.
Don't forget we tied up after the good little boys. Anyways, the way I see it.
No, I have a problem with this. Why would you tidy up the place if you had just heard a gunshot? You should fucking run, right? Like, surely?
Yeah. The bloke was holding the... Okay.
No, he obviously wasn't holding the gun. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I was saying that Mr. Windybank had a gun in his hands.
Oh yeah, but that was sight, eh? Them two waving them guns at each other must have been pretty heated.
Are you an idiot? I mean, yes, but like, there was only one gun there. Like, this is the most obvious problem.
And we just want to shut it. We heard the gear say, if you don't want to get shot.
So he said it. Didn't really sound like he meant it, mind. More of an empty threat, you could say.
Mr. Winterbank was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That's someone being himself, of course.
Good grief! Extraordinary devotion indeed, if allowing me misguided.
Would that stop anyone?
I think it's like, oh, you know, like I brought dishonor on me by letting people steal stuff, so I'm gonna kill myself or something. Yeah. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person he was gonna shoot beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper.
Bet he wished he'd squeeze the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me that gun." So he also said it. So, like...
He was holding the gun and told her to give him the gun. That makes all the sense. It was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot.
It was more or less the same time, Gov. Give me that gun.
BAM! Kind of thing.
Yes, a career in acting very tragically, miss. Let's just repeat the joke.
Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck. Before everything went dead quiet.
After that, we done a slapdash job tidying the place up.
Alright, so... I think, maybe... Maybe? Do we have the photo of the... Get a crime scene photo?
No, this doesn't have, Gina.
Oh. Shit.
Also, hang on, he was shot in the back.
In the back?
Yeah.
I swear there's a picture that has Gina, right?
I mean, we've seen it because
it's not in evidence.
it wasn't like an actual.
This might be
photo.
hasty because I feel like I could probably press other stuff, but let's try this.
Objection.
Yep. Maybe, actually. They changed it in this game, so you don't know for sure, even if the music goes away.
So you're saying... On the night in question, the victim, Mr. Winterbank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct?
That's it, Gov. You got the picture.
I sure do.
He has, Nash, he has, no question.
And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows
Yep, okay.
Mr. Winterbank was not holding a firearm of any description.
And he was shot in the back. Hey, you what?
Go on, Bennett, that ain't right.
Objection.
Was that?
Probably more
God,
fucking rhyming slang.
I think.
Oh, probably.
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Winterbank's gun was found at the scene.
Yeah, but they're claiming both of them had guns, so where's the other one?
Yeah.
Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand.
Yeah, that mole Tula used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun.
BAM! Kind of thing.
Stay exactly where you are, right there.
Hey?
The crime had taken place as you so colorfully described in your testimony. Would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out.
Goodness, are you sure, Counsel?
You intrigue me, my learned friend. Let's see some evidence to support your claim. There is the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments. Same one.
Yeah.
According to their testimony, witnesses claim to have heard a shout of, "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot.
Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, so we've been led to believe.
Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and its attacker would have been facing each other. However, I'd ask the court to study the photograph of the victim's body again. You can clearly see that Mr. Winterback was in fact shot from behind. Peanut butter baby noise. Oh, as stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
Mr. and Mr. Yeah!
Mr. Skulkin.
That's what Mrs. is.
But it's the God's honest truth!
I'm pretty sure Mrs. is a corruption of Mr. apostrophe S, as in the possessive.
Oh. Okay.
It is, Nash, it is! When he was shot that night!
The shopkeeper had a gun in his hand! We saw it with our own bleeding eyes!
Well, well, well.
Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Winterbank holding a gun?
So what I'm guessing happened here is... Okay, hang on, let me...
Something like that might have slipped out.
Okay, well, that's one thing. Okay, so they saw the crime happen. So, what I'm guessing happened here is Gina, when it, like, came in... One second, let me check the court record. Yeah, she came in, snuck in probably, when, like, somehow without him noticing and took his gun. Threatened him, was like, go into the back. He's like, okay. They go into the back together. And while they're in there... he said, like, they said that he said, like, don't come in. So somehow he would have had to have gotten the gun into his hand. But, so I guess someone else shot him from, like, here while those two were in the storeroom. Other people came in.
Yeah.
And they shot him in the back while he was facing Gina. And then Gina, in some way, either got the gun back or maybe she was holding something like that. And then she maybe collapsed from the shock or something. And yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know exactly how it happened yet.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, something like that. That sounds plausible.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've all just heard the admission by these two witnesses. On the night in question, they actually saw with their own eyes the victim wielding a gun. It can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person.
Nash,
Order! Order! Witnesses, explain yourselves at once! Well, the thing is, it was supposed to,
It would seem my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you.
Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies? I'm so sorry, Governor. Truth is, we...
Cut it out, Nash, cut it out! If we blab now, you know what it'll do to us!
Who are they talking about? Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you.
Bro, come on, the game's up!
But you'll have our guts for garters!
In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out.
On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well...
Do we have to?
On pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth.
Oh boy. New testimony, let's go.
Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug.
Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it.
For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter.
I pulled my gun on him, and then he legged it through that door in the back into the back room.
Well, we never had nothing to do with killing him. I saw what happened, I swear.
So you're now telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop.
Well, yeah, sorry. Well, we find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. But honest, Governor, this time...
This time, Nash, this time, we ain't got nothing more to hide.
Very well. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for.
I like Ryunosuke fucking leaning over the counter.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Desk or whatever. The bench.
I kind of feel bad for these two.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's so ineffectual.
Yeah, and they're evidently being strong-armed by somebody.
Yeah.
You say geezer. I presume you mean the victim and the proprietor of the shop, Mr. Windybank.
Who else? Sorry, I mean, that's right.
Oh. We was keeping a close eye on the entrance to the gaff, obviously. But we never thought no one was gonna come out of the back room like that.
Back room being the pawnbrokery storeroom.
Yeah, that must be where he popped up from. Only place he could have been.
So it would seem the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premises. Which means Ginny must have been in there at that point as well. That doesn't make sense, does it? Gina had threatened Mr. Windybank into the storeroom with her at gunpoint. Why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? Oh, I don't know. Did you see the accuser that time?
What, that mole tower? Couldn't tell ya.
No way, Copper. We had bigger fish to fry then. I mean, the young geezers just lost it.
You mentioned that Mr. Windybank shouted these words in your previous testimony too. However, you claim that you heard him yelling them from on the other side of the storeroom door.
Oh, did we?
The truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't it? Wasn't he?
Well, yeah.
Was the victim, Mr. Windybank, wielding a gun at the time?
Was he ever? Blimey lummy! A great ugly barrel he had, pointing straight at me front his piece.
What you're saying is, definitely saw Mr. Windybank with the gun at that time. Is that right?
It is, Gov. It is spot on.
But all of a sudden he came at us, he did.
It was bedlam. I didn't know who was going for who.
They were clearly all going for each other.
Like Nash said, we thought we'd had it. I mean...
Yes, I know that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony too.
Well, yeah, of course we did.
He knocked over a lot of books, a candlestick and some skull whatnot.
That got tangled in some marionette, what knocked over a picture frame, what knocked them scales on the floor.
So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter.
Well, big bruv here went flying over that car like a gunshot, I can tell you. And then the old geezer pinned him.
He did, Nash, he did. If you hadn't been there, the bloke would have flattened me like a blooming pancake in seconds.
At the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via a secret cable from the pawnbrokery. There was a button under the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim. That's right. My brothers fled the scene and back onto the street. Ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they?
Oh, Mr. Windybank, he did everything he could to protect his shop.
I pulled my gun. Oh shit, right. That's not your dialogue. I'm done.
Were you intending to shoot Mr. Windybank?
No, never. I was just, look out for me, bruv, weren't I? He was being flat, don't forget. Don't forget.
A man whose shop was being burgled, yes. And then, the man fled into the storeroom when you pointed your gun at him. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. He showed me a way, then ran off through that door and shut himself in.
Something about that last remark. I think it doesn't quite ring true.
Wonder why Mr. Windybank ran away to the storeroom.
Ran away.
What? According to what everyone's saying, he wasn't there waiting for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
The gun.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, that's right.
Which also is his gun. So, like, there's a gun missing. I don't know why we haven't brought this up yet.
Gina allegedly used Mr. Windybank's gun to threaten him and force him to open the storeroom door. Ugh. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Windybank's hands again?
Thank you.
I have no idea. My throat! I have no idea. But it is strange, isn't it?
This little inconsistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it.
Look, the point is, me and me bruv here.
That's right, Nash. That's right. Me bruv here. Alright, well, that's gonna be pointless to press, probably. Let's see. Showed his mug. Whoops. I just don't think he would do that. I mean, let's press this just in case.
Yeah.
I guess.
Say you had nothing to do with it.
Nothing at all.
Nothing, Gov, nothing. The old geezer went and shut himself in the back room, didn't he?
Locked it was from the inside.
He also wouldn't do that if there was someone with a gun in there trying to kill him. Or
Yeah.
threaten him. Well, we know it was because we tried to open it.
But it's a decent door, that one. Good and strong. Wouldn't budge an inch.
So, in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade.
It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, Consul?
Don't know. Is there anyone else apart from Gina who could possibly have shot Mr. Windybank? Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
Eh? What?
What's that look for?
From the moment you admitted that you'd encountered the victim face to face that night. The course of this trial changed completely.
You did?
What is your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is, who could have shot Mr. Windybank? It is the belief of the defense Jesus
Oh my
Christ,
God.
defendant is not the only possible answer at all.
God.
You have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of the premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be?
Consul.
So, I'm thinking, actually.
You must now provide answers to the court in respect of two conundrums.
Is it not possible that while Mr. Windybank was coming back into okay, like maybe he got in there with Gina. He somehow knocked her out, and took his gun back. That's when these two came in. He left the storeroom and threatened them for a bit. Then he ran back into the storeroom, and while he was doing so, they shot him, or somebody shot him. He collapsed on the ground, and then somehow, at some point, Gina woke up and locked the door and then collapsed again. No, that doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And also doesn't explain how his gun is empty.
Well, in this hypothesis, he shot at these two, and his bullet is the one in the calendar.
Right.
Anyway. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really work, though.
2, my lord. Has as many chances to be right, maybe.
Indeed. Namely. From what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time?
Understood, my lord. You're right, Runo.
I'm not entirely sure.
But there's one thing I am sure about. You can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened. Would change Gina's prospects hugely.
Yeah, I'm not sure what our credible new prospect is.
So now, time for some clarity. DJ, show the court on this plan the answers to the questions posed by his lord. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where that person could have fired the gun.
Like here, I guess, right? That makes sense. Somewhere along this back part.
Yeah, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, he was lying down when we came into the room, away from the door. The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here.
In answer to the second question. Assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time?
Culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom.
Continue.
Mr. Windermere died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death.
Right, I've been considering that, but I'm like, no, yeah, there's the bloodstain, so he was definitely in there.
Which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired?
Alright. So you're adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom?
Well, according to the Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony,
I pulled the gun on him, and then he light it through that door into the back room.
if Mr. Windermere ran away through the door, you have to assume that the door was open at the time.
Problem is gonna be who locked it.
Oh!
It was at precisely that moment when the victim was fleeing for his life. These brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom.
Whoa!
Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial?
Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. The reports state that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself.
Oh man, not while he was running as fast as he could to safety. And me. Of course. Would have been leaning forward as he was running away. Even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered his body on an upward trajectory. The culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Winterbank.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. He's leaning forward, so it looks like it's going upwards.
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten. The storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside.
Yeah, no, I didn't forget that.
You claim the victim was shot as he fled into the room. You also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock.
But... Yes? If someone else locked the door. Yes! There is someone else who could have locked the storeroom door.
Is that so?
Very well then, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario you just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. In which case, who shot and locked the storeroom door from the inside? Well, it's obvious.
Where is she?
Baron von Zeeks!
Sigurd Benedict. Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. Defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
That's absurd. Suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered a sealed room. What possible reason?
Because there was people with guns!
Yeah.
Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck.
What I'm wondering is just how she ended up on the... It must have just been that she took his gun and was waiting there, holding it, for like, a long time, until she collapsed from exhaustion or something. Like,
Yeah,
it's gotta be that.
probably. I'm inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel?
It probably would have done her good to tell us that's why she had the gun, though, at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird to me that she didn't mention it.
I don't know,
She was so embarrassed.
She didn't trust us, so, I don't know, I kinda...
I guess.
Yes, that's a tricky one, that, isn't it?
Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please.
Of course Ginny would have locked the door. Almost goes without saying, doesn't it? It does?
Well, yeah.
If I was Ginny in that situation, I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean... Two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they?
Yes, obviously.
Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Winderbank were in the storeroom together.
I'm not really liking that it's case 5 and they posed a question and the NPC just answered it for us. Like, I can figure this out on my own. I'm smart enough, come on.
Oh, you are very stupid.
Now, I don't know what went on between them at the time, but at some point, Mr. Winderbank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom.
Intruders, eh? That's us, bruv.
Your
No shit.
If your theory is correct, that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom.
Yes, it would. And probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger.
I'm guessing that the situation actually defused before the... is it yeah, it's defused. I was like, is it defused or diffused? No, defused. I'm guessing what happened was she came in and threatened him, went to the back, and they had a conversation, and, she calmed down, and they weren't really, like, in an aggro situation. I mean, she still kind of was, because she was trying to get the manuscript, but I don't know. I'm guessing that,
In the back by the bullet, Mr. Winderbank fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom.
Hell, maybe they heard the burglars enter, and Gina was scared, and he's like, give me that gun back, I need to defend my shop, I'll give you the manuscript. And she was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's entirely possible.
Yeah, maybe.
Then again, she doesn't trust adults, so... I don't know.
Yeah.
What we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment?
I see, well, where you going with this?
Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Windybank. As soon as our thoughts struck Miss Lestrade, she had slammed the door shut and locked it. In order to save her own life.
What does he?
Hold it! But I mean, we ain't the ones who done it.
Why does he get a voice? Hold it.
I don't know.
We ain't
the
got.
most
We
important
ain't.
character.
You've got to believe us. I mean, come on. We'd never shoot no one.
It's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would. Because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There's only one logical conclusion here. Mr. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity. Have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Windybank's murder.
Where does this leave us? You mean to say it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all? I thought it was going to be each.
Yeah.
Whatever. Should know Tree Brothers. Look, Shady's in this forest.
What's amazing, Bruno? Members of the jury seem to be firmly on your side now.
No, first time ever, and probably the last.
Well, I think you've done it. Surely they have to give a verdict, if not.
An admirable effort, my learned friend.
What's this now?
He's gonna be like, how did he get the gun back off of Gina? We saw her with it in the photo.
Yeah.
He's laughing?
You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Zeeks. I myself find the defense's argument most persuasive.
Yes, murder is hilarious. I dare say. Such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation.
It's chicanery, by the way.
Well, I'm not from the... whatever year this is.
But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here.
What?
The hypothesis you put forward so ostensibly credibly cannot and will not stand. Because, you see, it contains a fatal flaw.
A fatal flaw?
You mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing?
I say, Lord Van Zeeks, might be an idea to explain this Balak conjuring trick or whatever it is to the troops on the ground,
The fatal flaw in my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand.
Dude, you just poured that.
I didn't want it. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets.
By George, count bullets?
Ah!
So,
okay.
okay, in our hypothesis, the bullet, as we currently understand it, the bullet that hit Sherlock went through and hit the calendar, probably.
Yes. The bullet that hit there was a bullet that hit the guy, Windybank.
Yeah.
And then theoretically there should be a third bullet. And we also found that the Skulkin's revolver had only fired one shot.
I'm actually not sure, what is the third gunshot that we're missing?
Basically, Windybank's gun had only one bullet.
You can check the
That was
blood samples. We have 3.
Look at the court record real quick, just because if I remember correctly, we have Windybank's gun, which had one bullet in it, and
Both
it was
guns only
empty.
fired one bullet, yeah.
And then a single round was fired.
Yeah, I'm asking.
From
yeah, I know
Skulkin's.
that. Ben, I'm asking what the third gunshot is.
So how did Windybank's gun get emptied if it wasn't fired by Gina? Because the Skulkin shot at Herlock, and then
I see what you're saying.
presumably he shot.
See, I thought in our hypothesis that Windybank's gun was still the one that shot him. But now I'm realizing, I guess, how would I get back in the room, so, okay.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Notice then.
Huh? What's everyone talking about? Counsel. Yes, sir! Tell the court how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime. Two bullets! Correct. First, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. The second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, on his arrival at the scene.
Indeed. The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet early in the proceedings.
It was very cool.
The bullet which injured Herlock, Mr. Sholmes, appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar.
Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonged to the victim, Mr. Windybank. The Skulkin brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun.
Yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each.
Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only moments ago. These 2 brothers shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes right before your eyes.
Yes, I did.
Oh my goodness! I think you'll find.
If the single bullet was fired from the brother's gun, hit Mr. Sholmes, it means...
Never not shot by same gun. Stop. Only 1 bullet. Stop.
Exactly. Yes, this Nipponese street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny.
Ah!
Yeah. Yeah, this is a tricky one. I don't know how we're gonna get out of this. Order! Order! Order!
Always funny. I forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hallowed nectar into the public gallery. I hate them.
Lord Van Zeeks!
This court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can regrettably no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She has a past riddled with criminal conduct. Truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with loathsome intent. So we can see beyond doubt in this print which depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. I have here in my possession 1 more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present.
Disc.
Indigo disc.
That's a Serena Tear joke.
I know.
I'll be taking that whatever it is of McGillis down to the yard, thank you very much.
No, don't give it to him. It is mine. That is mine.
I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGillis has to be taken as evidence now.
Yes, that music box disc. Mr. McGilden's music box disc. Don't keep saying music box disc.
The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Windybank, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. With none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add. By brute force and brazen impudence.
Good gracious!
Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop if pushed, no crime she would not commit. The court forgets that fact at its peril.
Oh boy. I see. I think we'd prefer to take this music box disc to the evidence council. As a grim testament. Lord. A grim testament to the defendant's character. Hold it! Lord Van Zeeks,
Inspector Gregson, what?
Yes, Inspector.
We had a meeting yesterday in the yard with the prosecution service, and, I think it was agreed that the disc wouldn't be used as evidence.
Well, fuck you.
What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? It's the first time he said anything to Van Zeeks at all.
I'm unaware of any such meeting.
But those were the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent.
Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. Bitch. Prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord.
Indeed. Bailiff!
Prosecution has established the accused's motive, opportunity, and baseness of character. She is indeed based. There's nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions. Rest my case.
I'll fucking do it again.
I don't believe it. I had the chair on my side for once, for all of 5 minutes. Oh dear. Isn't even 5 minutes right now.
My lord.
My lord, wonder if I might say something at this point.
Proceed, Mr. Foreman.
I've been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up to now, if truth be told, but all of a sudden, the answer's barely obvious to me and my men. There's only one thing for it.
No.
Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Yeah, they're already reading it.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Guilty.